Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts reviews and oft-times reminiscences. Today we're doing, I never know how to pronounce this artist's name. I'm going to say Serm, rightly or wrongly. Back in the day when this artist first came to prominence, I bought quite a few of the early EPs, and as a consequence, as is often the case, I stopped because I thought I'd heard enough of it to want to go and listen to other things. There's only so many artists you can listen to, and only so many of those you can purchase from. So I've not really dipped into the more recent stuff from this artist, but curiosity got the better of me the other day, and I clicked on the latest EP, and it was Take My Money, Take It Now. And so we'll listen to a track from this newest, or I think it's the newest EP. See how we get along, shall we? Let's go. So when I heard this, if I hadn't known who it was, I wouldn't have known who it was just by the experience of the early music. There's been well, it's a seismic change, but a distinct change in the sound. Without going, I meant before doing this to go back and have a listen to the early stuff, but I didn't, because it doesn't make any difference really. But I do seem to recall the earlier sound was a bit starker and a bit more brittle in some ways, whereas this has a warmth to it. It's almost like if you have an open fire at home, when you know the logs or coals, whatever you use, have burned down to almost ashes, and you have that dull glow and sort of cozy warmth emanating from it, or a bit like a campfire really when that's banked down a bit. So it was a little bit of a surprise to hear the change in tone, but artists change their music all the time, so you know, not ultimately a surprise, but nonetheless it was a very welcome change. I must say I was drawn to it straight away. It sort of clicked immediately, and it was a case of here's my money. So I don't know what the subject matter is in this artist's music. I've never excuse me. I never do go into it unless it's patently obvious from album titles, song titles, or I don't look up lyrics or anything, but sometimes they're there in front of you when you open the page. But when you look at the album covers, they tend to suggest that there's lots of aspects of death about it, poverty and misery at times, and so the subject matter is probably quite serious and intense, and I won't say negative, but telling tales of such subjects. But I suppose when you listen to this detached from the subject matter, then that allows you to see it in a different way, or listen to it in a different way. And I'm almost I go wild camping a fair bit, and sometimes I'll take a sleeping bag that is overrated from what I intend, or for the weather that I intend to travel in, and sometimes, particularly if I cycle up to any elevation, I find I'm particularly glad of that overrated, by warmth that is, sleeping bag, and I can snuggle in it and be blanketed in the warmth that I'm glad I have. And in a sense, this tone of this music here envelops me in the same way. It almost gives me a cuddle, even though I'm sure the subject matter would do anything but. So there you go. Sometimes simple is best. There's nothing too complicated about this song in any sense, and as such, it's straight to vein. The melodies are simple but emotive, and get engaged immediately. The whole thing just, like I say, there's no pretense about it. It's just something that grabs you straight away. Thoroughly enjoyable, even though, as I say, the subject matter may give you pause to think about things, but yes, an interesting change in tone from this artist, and I for one very much welcome it. Yes indeedy. Anyway, clicky bollocks, catch you next time. Cheerio.